Good day everyone, today's video, and today we have a review on Rasmussen's P-36A. This isn't really a premium review, as you can probably tell, but still, I've got a small plan that I want to do in the future. I want to review all these starter packs just to give people an idea of which ones to buy and which ones to avoid. So that's what I'm going to be doing over the coming weeks. Obviously, the French one will likely not be on sale because as I record today, the sale has not begun. But eventually, I will be doing all the starter packs, and then you can get a clear idea, in my personal opinion, which one I think is the best. If I was supposed to make a suggestion, I'd either say the French or the Russian one, but obviously, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So, Rasmussen's P-36. This vehicle is no different to a regular P-36 in the tech tree. This is just a P-36A with a different skin, well, a slightly different. This aircraft is based off Philip Rasmussen's P-36 that he flew during the Battle of Pearl Harbor, where this aircraft took over 500 hits. A Japanese pilot tried to ram him, and also I believe he shot down a Zero. I may be wrong about that, but from what I've mostly seen, he did shoot down a Zero with his limited ammunition that he had in the plane. And I forgot to mention, he also did it in his pajamas, which is actually quite interesting. He just got out of bed after Pearl Harbor had started, slapped a 45 caliber pistol to his pajamas, jumped in the plane, and off he went. And he came back with some serious bullet damage, let's put it that way. There'll obviously be more information on other websites, which I'm sure you guys can look into if you are interested in the story. But otherwise, there's nothing really for me to mention. 150 caliber machine gun, 130 caliber machine gun. It's just a P-36A in the tech tree. I'm not really going to be going too much in depth in this vehicle, but in terms of armor plate, you have a small armor plate which may stop rifle caliber bullets, but anything high caliber will be going right through that armor plate. So don't expect it to stop anything like a Breda Safat or a German 792, unless the German 792 is at more than about 400 meters to 500 meters. That's what I'd guess anyway. But otherwise, this plane does have good agility. It does have flaws, which I will go over shortly, and obviously in the review gameplay. But the main difference that is notable on this aircraft is the tail number over here. You can see the 86 here. If I just move the M3A1 US Marine Corps, which is the other tank that you're going to be seeing later, as you'll notice, this P-36 has a different setup. Obviously not the eagle head, that's not historical. That's what I've had there for years. But you'll notice there's additional numbers on the tail. There's the 86 here, this is to recognize a Rasmussen's if anyone's curious. But these also appear to be bullet holes. I'm not sure what these are, but I would reckon they're bullet holes. But that just gives a clear indication that this plane was shot at in real life, so it did exist. So, let's get into the gameplay and let's go into what I thought of the aircraft. So, it's a good plane. There's only one flaw with it. It's not a premium. Now, to some of you, that may seem pretty... How can I put it? Like, that may seem pretty unimportant to some of you, but bear in mind this vehicle can only be accessed from a new player starter pack. You get a premium tank in all of the packs. I don't know what's happening with the replay here, but it appears planes have decided to levitate. I don't have a clue what happened there, but that's the funniest thing I've seen all day. I'm sorry, but sorry about that. But anyway, so what was I saying? Because I lost my train of thought because of that. Good God, Gaijin, why? Just why? But anyway, so like, it's certainly a good plane, but as I was saying about the starter packs, I've now regained my train of thought. All of the other starter packs have a premium tank, which the US starter pack does, but yet the US starter pack is the only one without a premium plane. Now, the whole point of these starter packs is to get newer players into the game for cheap. They can have some premiums to work with to grind some SL and things like that. And yes, that G Stuka did just shoot down that guy. Well, to be fair, he went head on with it. But that's the thing, like, I don't see why this thing isn't a premium. They could throw in the Gallus F3F, maybe Thatcher's Buffalo, or something like that. It needs a change, because I just don't see the point. For anyone that's curious as well, stealth on the 7.62 and ground targets on the 12.7, 500 meters convergence I think I was running in this battle. So that's what I tend to run. That's kill number 1 there on that Stuka, and kill number 2 on the 112. The best way to describe this plane is a jack of all trades apart from one, where it does turn better than most of its competition. Now, I don't recommend using that turn rate all the time, because this aircraft has a very good rate of climb. But additionally, this aircraft has, well, it's got capability to work as a boom and zoomer, but if you need to fall upon it, you can outturn the majority of what you will fight. Now, don't fall into this trickery, because later on in the tech tree, the US planes become less and less maneuverable and focus more on boom and zoom attacks. So don't fall into this mindset early on with the Hawks, because trust me, it's not going to work out well for you. I don't know what this 112 was doing here. I fire a short burst from the 30 cal, crit him, fire a burst of the 50 included, and sets him on fire. That's going to be my 3rd kill for the match. The match I was originally going to use was with, who was it actually? I know it was with Tanker, but I can't remember who else I was flying with. I was originally going to use that, but then I took out the Rasmussens one more time before I went to bed that night, and this is the result I got, so there you go. But yeah, I would personally put in Thatcher's Buffalo, Gallus F3F, or maybe a low-tier premium ground attacker of some sort, because it just doesn't make sense. And I'm going to point this out for the other beginners packs as well. Well, starter packs I'm going to call them, but you get my point. Long burst here, my aim was poor, I will admit that. I probably could have done less ammunition on that, but that's going to be kill number 4. My aim was shocking, so if you want to roast me for my aim, feel free. My aim was trash then, I will admit that. So yeah, it's, everyone has their off days with their aim. I did there, so yeah. Now at this point, you may notice something unusual from me in a moment. You'll notice this D371HS9, which is the one with the 20mm cannons, and he's engaging this Dornier here. Now I wasn't sure if the D371 had this under control, so I held back, because normally I wouldn't hold back, because I thought he could set him on fire, but you can see chunks flying off the Dornier, so I thought, is he dead? Do I need to finish him off, or do I just need to hang around like a dead fish? Like, I didn't know what to do. So I thought at this point, I think the Dornier's going down. I'm going to go and find these Heinkel 111s. I don't think that Dornier's making it back to base. And I'm glad I didn't go fully for the Heinkel 111s, because as it turns out, the Dornier is able to fly home. And it's about this moment where I click and realise, oh, hang on a minute, he's flying okay, let's put him down. Now, Guatisus, or how you say that, is actually going to make it back to his base. Only just, because he suffered pretty bad engine damage, let's put it that way. So I come in from a high angle attack. Obviously, I'm coming in at a poor angle. This is not an angle where I'd want to approach a Dornier, but even so, I'd rather try and get some hits in. I set the right engine on fire, and that's the end of that Dornier. However, unbeknownst to me, he's just put my engine on a ticking time bomb. You'll notice here, my engine has actually gone orange. Now, to some of you, that may not seem important, but it is. That's the ace of the day. But that is rather important, and I didn't realise it at the time, but my engine's got about, I'd say, 5 minutes worth of life before it starts to conk out, so I better make these last 5 minutes count, aren't I? I know some of you will say, oh, you should have gone back to base, but yeah, I didn't think about that at the time, I'll be brutally honest. So, if you want to roast me for that, feel free, I don't care. More than happy to take some constructive criticism. But I'm obviously looking for the 111s here, and this is where I learned one of them might be a little bit of a camper. One of them's actually crashed, being Ironfish 3X, and as you'll see, Dommel Rally is circling the runway, and I was already like, great, he's just gonna camp. So I thought, okay, let's go for some ground targets, just to get started. Now, the guns on this thing are good against ground targets, but for some reason I was getting sparks on these things. Now the replay does show shots missing. I missed like 2 shots, so the replay is being a bit stupid. But because now I'm only down to the 30 cal and a couple of 50s left, I literally mean a handful of 50s. There isn't much I'm going to do against these armoured cars. But it's at this point, the 111 actually decides to come out and fight. And as you'll notice, my airspeed is not looking good. That's because the engine is on its last legs. Again, I just didn't know it yet. But I've got the D371 coming in to back me up. And I decided, right, let's try and get the 111 with my 30 cal. Remember, I'm running stealth. And shout out to Sun Tzu for that very nice compliment in chat. He was actually quite a nice guy. But as you'll notice, I'm being very precautious. This guy actually tried a jingle bomb, which I had to avoid. But I can't afford to take any more hits to the engine block, because otherwise I'm a dead man. Unfortunately, the 111 is so content on shooting me down. He does see the D371, but after the D371 makes his pass, he makes it his mission to take me with him. And this is really where I shouldn't have gotten this kill, because the D371 did more damage than I did. But the 111 pilot is so focused on shooting gunnery, he doesn't really think about trying to avoid the actual trees there, so that didn't really help him. But that was kill number 6, which I don't think I deserved that one, if I was to be brutally honest. But now the engine is really starting to die, but luckily, Ironfish couldn't repair, and that was it. So like I say, I think it's a good plane. I'm not saying that. I just don't get why it's not a premium. So if I was to make a personal suggestion to Gaijin, either put the Gallas in as the starter pack premium, or alternatively put the Thatcher's Buffalo in, because at least the Thatcher's Buffalo is a little bit more maneuverable than this thing and has more guns, so it's a little bit more forgiving. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's review of the Rasmussen's P-36A. You'll notice it's not a spade review or a premium review, it is just a review, because it's not exactly a spade review because I've had this thing spaded for months, but you get my point. The next one will be the M3A1 US Marine Corps, and after that it will be the IAR 81C. But anyway, I'll see you all on the next one.